Hey, what's going on, Black people? Today, I want to actually break some stuff down for you regarding SPACs and some things you want to watch out for on the market. Tomorrow is a big, big day. Tomorrow, the Fed is going to release some words that could move the market and literally disrupt the hell out of your stocks tomorrow. So, buckle up your seatbelt, get comfortable. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black economics and Black wealth and investing every single day of the week, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under one condition. The condition is that you must support the B1 philosophy. B1 means that we are Black first. That doesn't mean you have to be Black to be here. We don't hate anybody, but it does mean we put our community first. It means we solve our own problems. It means we're not afraid to stand up against oppression. We are moving our community forward, whether anybody likes it or not. Also, B1 means that we understand we must be one in order to be successful. And B1 means that we can be number one. Within the next 50 years, we believe Black people will be the greatest wealth builders in the world. If you agree with that philosophy, if you agree with what I just said, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat. Put B1 in the chat. I want to talk about something that could ruin your stocks tomorrow. This is something that could body slam your investments, something that could literally cause your investments to just buckle like a mug. And it has to do with the Fed. Tomorrow, the Fed is going to give a speech. And that speech is going to be really important because based on the words that come out of the Fed chairman, Jay Powell's mouth, that is going to determine whether or not you get smooth sailing tomorrow or if you get an economic earthquake. An economic earthquake is pretty much where all your stocks make you cry for a day or two, almost like when the girlfriend broke up with you when you were 16 years old and you thought you'd never meet another woman for the rest of your life. And so I want to just get you guys ready. Just know that tomorrow, today is the 16th of June. Tomorrow, you're gonna get that news, and you're gonna know when the news was announced because that's when Jay Powell will make his decision. Now, somebody says, does that mean to sell? No, it doesn't mean run away. You don't run away from your problems. You got to face them. Like New Edition used to say, baby, can you stay in the rain? Right? Everybody, it's easy to fall in love, but the question is, can you stay in love when you don't want to be in love? Because love is pleasurable, but love hurts. And if you can't stay in the pain and can't stay in the rain, then you don't get all the gain that comes with loving another person, right? So the same thing is true with investing. The best investors are the people that know how to hold steady, know how to make moves, know how to double down, know how to dig deeper, and dig their heels into the trenches. So tomorrow, you're gonna get that. This is what you call a pregnant moment. A pregnant moment is like a pregnant person, a pregnant woman. When a woman is pregnant, I wouldn't say a pregnant person. I guess they now say that men can get pregnant. That don't make no sense to me, but I'm not gonna talk about that. And basically, a pregnant moment kind of means something's gonna be born, something's gonna happen. It's gonna play out somehow. And so effectively, when this pregnant moment gives birth, you're gonna see your stocks probably move a little bit. They may go up. Because maybe the Fed is going to just say everything's cool, nothing to see here, nothing to worry about, and that's the scenario where your stocks stay flat or go up. The scenario that could be bad for you is if the chairman of the Fed comes out and says anything to even indicate on any level that he's going to slow down the quantitative easing program in which the Federal Reserve has been propping up your stocks by buying back about, I want to say it's $120 billion worth of bonds every month. They literally are buying over $100 billion a month in bonds to keep the money supply high. And when they do that to speed up the economy, right? Just like you speed up a car. But the problem is that a lot of people feel that this is a problem. They feel like it's not necessary. They feel like this is going to cause permanent inflation. And the inflation data was very, very high. Now, the debate is that the chairman of the Fed believes that inflation is temporary. They believe that it's not a big deal. Look, it's going to be cool. Just chill out. But then there are people who believe that he's wrong. There's a guy named Paul Tudor Jones, who's a billionaire who manages billions of dollars in money, who says, no, this is BS. They are going to wreck the economy. They are going to cause long-term persistent inflation that is going to kick us in the butt long-term. So effectively, There are a couple stock plays you can make based on this issue. Tomorrow, for those of you that are in the Black Stock Market program, I'll kind of lay out a detailed analysis of the stocks that I'm looking at and buying and stuff like that as a result of this. Feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. If you haven't signed up, you should definitely join the program. It's the best class you'll ever take. There's 5 years of material. It's better than anything I ever taught at Syracuse University because I can teach it in the way that I want. As you guys know, I've taught every single class from banking to international finance and everything else. And so basically, if you want to join the program, I think you're going to like it a lot. And one of the things I'll do for you guys who are in the program, the URLs on the screen. The first month is free, totally free. You can go to blackstockmarketprogram.com and I'll do a special video where I will break down some of the stocks that I'm actually going to look at now as a result of what the Fed does tomorrow. These will be either plays that benefit from the inflation or plays that benefit from the correction. Because what's going to happen is that if the Fed makes the wrong announcement, there could be a taper tantrum tomorrow. A taper tantrum is where the Fed says we're going to taper off the bond buying program, and that's going to cause the stocks to correct. A correction is another way of describing an economic earthquake. That means your stocks will rumble. Some of your stocks will buckle to the point where you will just be sad as hell. And if you have these high growth stocks, these high flyers, these Tilrays and the AMCs and the meme stocks and all that, it's going to be a bad day for you. So just kind of hold steady. Don't get scared. And it could be a buying opportunity. Now, another thing I want to mention to you is I was reading this interesting article in the Wall Street Journal about SPACs. How many of you know what a SPAC is? Give me a yes or no if you've ever heard of a SPAC. Give me a yes or no if you know what a SPAC is. Doc, do you have stock tips for a zaddy who loves snow bunnies? No, I do not know. I do not have stock tips for a zaddy who loves snow bunnies. No disrespect to the snow bunnies, but I got me a sexy black woman. That's all I need. Okay, so SPACs are basically special purpose acquisition companies. And SPACs, one famous SPAC is a company called Lordstown Motors, which is an electric vehicle company. And Lordstown had just basically announced that they might not even be in business at the end of the year. SPACs, special purpose acquisition companies, were basically designed to allow companies to get around the IPO process. The IPO process requires companies to file a lot of reports and to give away a lot of information and to ensure that information is accurate and certified and all this stuff. Well, SPACs let them kind of get away with kind of this, this fast talking, jive talking, hand waving kind of thing. They get to say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to make $1 trillion. It'll make $1 billion the first 10 minutes. And it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And that's very dangerous for financial markets, particularly in this environment, because people get excited. People will buy anything in this market. And there are people that know that. There's been about $108 billion made from SPACs, where basically they're called blank check companies. That's another term for it. And so they raise a bunch of capital from a bunch of rich people who say, look, there's suckers out here who will buy anything. So they raise a bunch of money and then they say, okay, we're going to go ahead and go public. And then we're going to find a company to acquire and let that company take our place on the stock exchange. Well, the problem with that is that once that occurs, you end up having this crazy, irrational behavior where the price of the SPAC shoots way, way up and these SPACs become extremely volatile. Now, why do I bring up SPACs? Well, because the failure of Lordstown Motors and the struggles that they're having, there's a company called Hindenburg Research who's been shorting some of these companies and really telling on them. The failure of Lordstown Motors, and then there was another one that they had questions about. I think it wasn't Clover Health. It was wasn't Virgin Galactic. There's another one I can't remember. Nikola. Some of these companies that haven't made any money hardly or have had major losses. Some people believe this could be the end of SPACs, that SPACs could start actually having their own correction, which means that a lot of these companies, if you're invested in them in their SPACs, these companies could just plummet in value. So you got to be real careful with SPACs. And if the Fed tightens their policy, I believe that they end their quantitative easing or communicate that they think inflation is permanent and they say, look, we're going to slow down. We're not going to keep on pushing on the gas. I think SPACs are going to get hit the hardest. I think SPACs are going to get body slammed the most. So that's my 2 cents on it. Now, if you ask me about individual stocks, I don't have time to. I mean, it's a good chance I haven't even seen much with the stock. I think CCIV. I've heard of CCIV. I think that's Churchill something, but I haven't had time to research the company. So, but like I said, if you come to class on Tuesday, send me the question in advance. I will look it up and Google it and then give you my take when we're talking in class. So feel free to do that. All right. So anyway, so with SPACs, I think you should avoid SPACs in general. I think SPACs are a very dangerous investment. The only time you should mess with SPACs is if you really know what you're doing. I invest in SPACs, but I sell the options on SPACs. I don't hold them for very long because I don't think they're a good long-term investment. And also just know that tomorrow, keep an eye out for this Fed announcement, because that's going to impact your stocks. I guarantee you that's going to impact your money. If Elon Musk tweets, that's going to impact your crypto. Apparently, he's the number one influencer on crypto right now, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but that's just what it is. And yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a real interesting day. I know I'll be watching, and I can tell you this. When I open up my app and look at my stocks, I will instantly know what the Fed said. I will instantly know. If it's after the announcement, I will look at the result. I'll say, it must have been bad news, or it must have been good news. If I see green, that means there was good news. If I see red, that's bad news. And that's what you should see when you have a diversified portfolio. Do you trust Chamath's SPACs? Okay, you're talking about Chamath, the Indian guy that does a lot of the SPACs. It's not that I don't trust them. It's just that SPACs are, you ever have that guy in your neighborhood or your family that just does a lot of talking, like a lot of fast talking, but it ain't real. There's not a lot of substance there. A lot of y'all grew up around fast talking type people who just kind of, will get you to believe anything because they're such good speakers, or so, because they just know how to rap to you. The SPAC creators are in that category. They give these crazy projections and make you think the company is the best thing in the world. And then you find out that there's more under the hood that you did not see. That's why IPOs are designed to give really good transparency so you can trust the market, so you won't feel lied to. And I guarantee you, when these companies are already getting sued like crazy, but once you start seeing these companies crash, you're really gonna start seeing the lawsuits. It's really gonna be kind of a mess. So just be really careful about that. Can you explain SPACs again? SPACs, look them up. Special purpose acquisition companies, aka blank check companies, which is basically where people grab. It's like a big investment club, in my view. It's like where people grab a bunch of money and they pile it up and they say, let's go acquire a company and make it go public, and find all those suckers out there that are willing to pay a certain price for the stock. And so the other thing that they do is they give the founders of the SPAC, they get the shares at a discount. So they get to buy the shares maybe at 10, and then they'll take the SPAC public and they're selling it to you for like 80, 90, or $100 a share. So you're effectively transferring money over to those other people. Or like when Coinbase went public, they did a direct listing, which means that the shares were already issued. So the insiders own the shares, and they were letting their shares go based on what the price went to. So when the price shot up on Coinbase up to over 400, a lot of them let a lot of their shares go because they knew that you were willing to pay $420 a share for shares that they knew were only worth about $250. But now, from what I understand, Coinbase is not a bad investment now because the price is actually normalized to a level that it should be. Let's see, in your stock class, you meet once a week or more. We meet just once a week. Once a week is every Tuesday. That tends to be enough. I don't want to make the students meet more than that. But every meeting is recorded, so all that material is inside the class. So you can feel free to take a look. So the blackstockmarketprogram.com. That's the URL on the screen. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here and go to bed. I just wanted to hop in here and share what I was reading about SPACs. Tomorrow, I'm going to actually come back and talk about this Fed announcement. And also, if you watch Dr. Boyce TV, I got a couple of guests coming on tomorrow. I think we got Maj Toure from Black Guns Matter. He's going to be coming on. So make sure you subscribe to drboycetv.com if you haven't done it yet. So Maj Toure is coming through. He's going to talk about his Solutionary Summit. You know me, I'm big on solutions. Maj is too, and I respect him. He's a great man. And also Red Pill, Blue Pill are coming through. And I'm joining Red Pill, Blue Pill and Brother Ben X and Sabir Bey and Styles P for the Knowledge Fest in Louisville, Kentucky this weekend. The Knowledge Fest, if you go to meetinc.org, you can actually come to the Knowledge Fest if you happen to be near Louisville and you want to drive up. It's this weekend. It's going to be great, and I look forward to going back to Louisville. You see, I got a Louisville Cardinal on my shirt, so I am a Louisville guy. That's where I'm from. That's my home city. So, all right, so thank you, Bulma's baby daddy. That's funny. So Bulma's baby daddy says, I love your content, Doctor. Well, I love you too. And I appreciate that very much, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll check in later. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.